There was a holiday approaching, and I was telling a friend of mine that I felt like going away somewhere. She was game, so we had an idea of catching a flight last minute. Just enjoy the weekend somewhere and then come back home. Nothing fancy, just renting a room at an Airbnb and, doing something different, just our backpacks, carry on. So we found cheap flights to New York City. I had already been there, but my friend hadn't. I'd rather go somewhere else, but it's New York City. You can never get enough of it. And she wanted to go, so I agreed and we booked our tickets. Since it was very last minute, we didn't really have time to plan what to do and where to go. So we just thought, well, once in Manhattan, we're gonna figure it out. So we found a room at an Airbnb in New Jersey City because everything in Manhattan was super expensive. We landed at LaGuardia, and right beside the exit door, there are panels with the city map. It shows you all the subway lines, the connection hubs, buses. We stood there for a few minutes trying to make sense of where we were and how to get to the places that we would like to go to. Then this guy starts talking to us. He had been there next to us since our arrival in a corner right beside the city map panels. We had seen him, but we didn't think too much of it since we simply assumed that he might have been waiting on someone. He notices that we're overwhelmed, so he asks us where we're trying to go. And we say, well, anywhere in the touristic area of Manhattan. And he gave us the directions. He explained how it all worked. And he then asks us where we're from, how long we're staying in the city, where we're staying, if we had come to see family or a friend, just the usual superficial questions to make conversation when you're socializing with someone you just met. So nothing suspicious, but questions that if taken out of context, he was taking the most valuable information from us, disguised as small talk. He will know a brief history of us, where we lived, how long we would be staying in the city for. I'm normally very skeptical, so that interaction was making me a little uncomfortable. I mean, why is he being so attentive, so helpful? I start thinking that maybe there's something shady about this guy, but on the other hand, I try not to judge him, and I give it a chance to the fact that some people are just nice. So based on the answer to the questions he was posing us, how long we would be staying, he offers us a deal. And he goes, well, since you're only staying a couple of days, I've got a great deal for you. I sell these subway tickets that have already been used, but they're still good for 2 more days. You're only gonna pay this amount of money as opposed to that amount of money that you would be spending had you bought a brand new ticket through the machine. He explained that by buying the subway tickets from the machine, we would either have to buy several one-trip single tickets or a 7-day unlimited ticket, which would be a lot. So both options would be a lot more expensive than buying the ticket he was offering us. We checked the machine, and it was true. He was right. We were trying to save money anyway, so we went along with it. Suddenly, it all makes sense to me. The gut feeling that was telling me that there was something shady about that guy was right. He was a scammer. That's why he stays there, right beside the city map at the airport. He's always waiting for people who are confused, don't know where to go or how to get there, so he can approach them and sell them his own tickets. I mean, nothing too shady. It was still a good deal, and it's not like I'm buying drugs or anything. So, I mean, it's just bus tickets. So we give him the money. He hands us the ticket, and right before finalizing the transaction, I ask him, so just to confirm, where's the bus stop? You said it was near here. And he said, oh, don't worry about it. I'm gonna take you girls there. I'm gonna walk you there so you can't miss it. That felt wrong, but I didn't say anything. I just went along with it. So he walked us to the bus station, which was just a few steps away, right across the street. A bus was approaching. And since I knew that that bus stop served several different lines, I just wanted to make sure, and I asked him, so it's not that one, right? It should be bus number whatever, I don't even remember the bus number. To which he replies, oh, don't worry about it. I'm taking the same bus, so you can't miss it. I'm going home now. Right there, I knew he had the intention to follow us. Never had he mentioned that he was done for the day, that he was also leaving the airport, and that the bus he was supposed to take was the exact same bus we were taking. So my friend and I are in line, and he's right beside us, and he won't leave. He's just there with us. So I start talking to her in our mother language, which is not English, and I let her know everything that I'm thinking, that I have a bad feeling about this guy, that he might be dangerous. I explained to her the risks we were taking with him, all the information that we had already given him just based off those silly questions that, that small talk that he was initiating at the beginning. And with the information we had already provided him with, he knew everything he needed to know, that it was a last-minute trip, meaning not too many people knew we were there, that we were staying in a room at an Airbnb in Jersey City, meaning we have no family and no friends in town. So I start acting off-putting towards him. While I'm talking to her, I maneuver my body towards her, kind of pushing him out of the conversation, intentionally putting him aside. So I'm focused on her, making sure that she gets it. And the bus pulls over, the right one this time. And I say to her, so let's get on this bus as quickly as possible, and let's get the hell away from this guy. The second I turn my body back to him, he's gone. He's gone. Everyone's ready in line, waiting for that door to open, and he vanished. We get on the bus, and since we are one of the first ones in line, I pick a seat up front near the bus driver because it gives us extra security, and so that I get to see every single person that hops on the bus. So I pay attention clearly to which one of the faces, and he's not one of them. So why all of a sudden this guy who was going home, he was taking the same bus as us, just disappeared? Well, it's because he noticed that we were aware of him and that we were not easy prey, and he dismissed us just like that. And what I think it was, most likely, he was probably part of a human trafficking ring. He sits there at the airport all day looking for women traveling alone or in a women-only group. He would be with us up until we debarked at the subway station. Most likely, there would be someone else there waiting for us. By then, this person would already have been contacted with all our information, what we look like, what we are wearing, our age range, and we would have been followed. Now, it's very easy in a crowded subway station in New York City to have someone bump into you and steal your purse, for example. You're distracted, talking to your friend, trying to make sense of where you are. You're excited because it's New York City, except the person who steals your purse is part of the ring, and they know that's where you keep your passport. So all of a sudden, you no longer have your passport in a foreign country. You have no family or friends in town, and the first guy who was at the airport is still around because he was going home on the same bus as you, and he just befriended you. He sees everything and he offers to help. He offers to take you to the nearest police station to press charges and try to recoup your passport. Once you get in a car with them, it's over. They have full control over you. They can drug you. They drug you consistently. So you lose consciousness and become addicted. And once you're addicted, you do everything they tell you for one more dose, for one more shot. This whole experience could have gone south really, really quick. And the funny thing is that the week before the trip, I was watching a documentary about human trafficking. And I learned a lot from it. But never would I thought that I would almost fall victim of such a scheme myself in just a few days. And this whole thing seems so out of our reality and something that only happens in the movies or to vulnerable people from dysfunctional families or teenagers who, hang around drug dealers. And this couldn't be any further from the truth. Everyone can be a victim. Anyone can be an easy prey if you're not paying attention. And I don't want to say to women, be careful, don't travel alone, or don't travel without a man. I mean, we should be allowed to do whatever we want. And it's not us that should have our freedom restricted. It's the men who should work on a safer environment for women. And I'm not even talking about the actual people involved in the ring, the actual predators. I'm talking about the clients. There's someone paying for all this. There's someone consuming this, what comes from all this. And you never know the backstory of that person, that woman, why she's there and how she got there, why she stays there, why she's not leaving. And this is not talked about as it should. The whole ethics behind what men are consuming, virtually or in person.